Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. We've got head coach Brent with us. He will make an opening statement. And then afterwards, we will have Q&A from the room. We appreciate all those that are here in the grand ballroom and those watching from home. So, Coach, the podium is yours.
That's it?
That's it.
Let's go. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? The question I probably get asked the most is why Georgia Tech? And I wanted to come up here and just give a few reasons why Georgia Tech is the place it is. To me, to these guys here, some of the things we've accomplished. First back-to-back winning seasons and bowl appearances in over a decade at our school. 5-0 at home last year. Large in part because of our fan base and the re-energized fan base we have in our students and the student section, and how they really are a part of our team on game day. The last two media days we've come up here, we've been picked to finish 12th and 10th in the conference, and we finished 4th, which is really one of only two teams in the league to finish in the top 4 the last 2 years, us and Louisville. We had multiple wins last year over top 10 teams for the first time in program history. But on top of that, we had our third consecutive semester of over 3.0 GPA with 3.03, which was the highest in the history of the football program, and that's at Georgia Tech, right? We're building a new football building that'll be completed next March. We'll be able to move in the middle of March of next year, and that's to be followed by a massive stadium renovation of Bobby Dodd Stadium. We're the top program in the country as far as our investment in how we use sports science and technology, and how we're the cutting edge that we are with that, which you would expect nothing less from a place like Georgia Tech. The Atlanta business community and how they've embraced our team and embraced our program and all of our athletics programs in our entire school. And we all know moving forward in the future how important that's going to be in the landscape of college football with the real NIL opportunities, sponsorships, job opportunities when these guys are done playing. Our fifth quarter program, which is our Life After Football program that we have, it really sets these guys up for when they are done playing football and prepares them for that life. To be in the state of Georgia with outstanding high school coaches that are there, and our our lifeline of recruiting and the relationships we have there and the support we have from them. And at the end of the day, Georgia Tech's a place where you can come to be a first-round pick and a CEO. And that's why Georgia Tech's important to me. Right? That's why it's important to these guys. They understand those things. They believe in those things, and that's important. So, talking about football, and really to recap a little bit of last year. We took a big step forward last season, really the last 2 years we have, but we ended the season with two very disappointing losses that we felt like we had an opportunity to win. But we know at this point we've established an identity of this football team, right? And that's not going to change. We know who we are as a football team. Everyone in the country knows who we are as a football team, and we embrace that. You sign up to play a game with Georgia Tech, and people know what they're going to get. They know what they're in store for, right? And that's something that we've worked extremely hard to build over the last 2 years, the identity that we have as a team. And look, we're going to celebrate that. We're going to embrace that and make sure that we, enjoy the fruits of the labor it's taken to put that together, right? Because it's not going to stop. Now, you come to Georgia Tech, you have no choice but to be a part of that identity as a football player. So when people talk about our identity, yeah, we get excited about it, but really that's done nothing to guarantee us anything during the season. Right, to celebrate an identity just gives you a chance and an opportunity at the end of the year to possibly be able to celebrate more things. And look, we've got a ways to go. We're working to continue to close that gap that we've been working for the last 2 seasons. Right, after the season's over, you move into the offseason and you start addressing the things that you have to address to make yourself a better program. That starts with roster retention. Roster additions, how you might make some adjustments and tweaks within how you build your roster to be able to win games that you have to win at all points in the season. Increasing your depth as a football team, staffing, staff retention, staff adjustments, staff additions, upgrades. Then it really goes to the players and what they do in the offseason, and with our strength and conditioning staff, our athletic training staff, our nutrition and dietitians. I mean, what they've done with these guys and how they've worked them really from the beginning of January up until this point now. We're now AJ Artis, our strength coach, and they can hand them over to the coaches. I mean, what they've done with these guys to build them into who they are has been great. But really the best part of the offseason is, we're not just, a bunch of teammates running around. I mean, these guys have built a bond and a brotherhood, friendships, relationships, that when they go out on that field, they're truly willing to lay it on the line for each other. Right? And that doesn't come by just, saying it or talking about it. There's a lot of action and work that takes place to make that happen. So, looking forward to this year. We've got a great opportunity in front of us. We really do. And it's not about other people's expectations that matter. I mean, the only expectations that matter are ours. Nothing externally should ever trump what our internal expectations are for ourselves. When you look at returning players on our team, I mean, we have 18 players returning who started football games for us, 27 seniors on our team, which this day and age, that says a lot. It says a lot about the guys that wanted to stay here and be a part of this. Return 87% of our passing yards, 84% of our rushing yards. You look at some of the guys we brought with us today. I mean, Haynes King, our quarterback, his pass production numbers, when you look at the yards, touchdowns, completion percentage, lack of interceptions, I mean, he's one of the best in the recent in modern college football history, and what he was able to do last year. Offensive lineman Red, Keelan Rutledge. I mean, he had All-American recognition last year. First time that a non-specialist at Georgia Tech's been named an All-American since 2014. And that was Shaq Mason. So Malik, little Energizer Bunny. I mean, people don't know. I mean, he's been Georgia Tech's most productive wide receiver in terms of receptions, single season and career. All right, since Calvin Johnson. Kyle doesn't have his neck roll on today, but I mean, Kyle Leifer, I mean, he's a big part of, if not the biggest part of, the reason we had the biggest turnaround in run defense that we've ever had. Really, I think it's 30 years that type of turnaround's happened. Now we've still got a lot of work to do to continue to improve as a football team. We brought transfers in this year. Right, we retained our roster. These guys all had opportunities to go other places, right? And that's the nature of the beast, right? So, but they chose to be here, and I'm indebted to these guys for that. Okay. Transfers we brought in, we had a certain approach we wanted to look at when we brought in transfers. Right? We wanted to sign guys as transfers to fill gaps and holes that had proven production at other colleges. We didn't want to bring guys in that had been sitting on the bench, and we wanted guys that had production at other places that to fill holes. We brought in the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, Malachi Holsey, running back. The Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year, defensive end Braden Manley. An All-American wide receiver, and Eric Rivers. Two Conference USA. His teammate Dean Patterson, another wide receiver. There was an All-Conference USA guy, freshman All-American DB Daquan White, and then starting SEC defensive tackle who returned back to where he started because he wanted to be with us. Right, he wanted to finish it where he started. So a lot of those are reasons why the outlook is very positive. Right, but we can all sit up here as head coaches and talk about the season, but really none of us really have any idea how it's going to unfold. But we can't control that. All we can do is control the work we put in, how we prepare, how we build our team, and how we play for each other. So, I'm extremely excited about this season coming up. I'm extremely excited about these guys we were able to bring with us today, as well as all the other guys on the football team. And with that, we'll leave it open for any questions.
Coach, thank you. We're going to go right side, about 6 rows right in the middle.
Steve, College Football Sunday. What were some of the factors that led to the Georgia game being played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year instead of at the Flats?
Well, those are way above my pay grade. All right. I could care less. We go play them at Piedmont Park. I'm serious. We'll go home tonight and play somebody at 5 o'clock at Piedmont Park. I give a crap where we play.
Coach, with that, we'll move to the first row left. We'll come all the way down to the aisle here, please. We'll take questions 2 and 3 from there.
Joe Bombo, Athlon Sports. Coach, how much do you think the on-field performance of your team has impacted the ability to attract Georgia's top talent and keeping them in state?
Yeah, that's something we set out in the very beginning, is to recruit the best players for Georgia Tech. Well, that starts in Atlanta and then in the state of Georgia, and then it works out to Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and through Louisiana over. And maybe every now and then we'll find somebody from a little small town in East Texas.
Coach,
long view.
next question right next to him.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Haynes King, just what you've seen from him, I mean, be it injuries, going back out onto the field, being relentless, willing to play through something, just what his leadership has shown you, not just in word, but also in deed.
I don't have enough time to talk about what he's done for the football team, how he plays the game. I can tell you one story that probably just encompasses everything about Haynes King. 2 seasons ago, we were playing in a bowl game, and it was towards the end of the game. And I don't know if many people know this. We were playing against UCF in the bowl, and Haynes had an opportunity in that football game to break 4 all-time single-season passing records at Georgia Tech. Like, close. And at the end of the game, we ran the ball 27 straight times. And he was saying, run it again, run it again. He was telling Buster, run it again, because he knew that was the way to break their will. Right? And when you got a guy like that puts the team above himself, right, and is willing to lay it on the line for his teammates, everybody else is going to run through a wall for him.
Coach, right side, 6th row back maybe.
Hey, Coach, Bruce Marshall from Sports Byline Armed Forces Radio. Real quick question about opening games, and I know forever, I mean, you're getting ready for teams that have a different look from the previous year, but nowadays it's even more pronounced with the changes. But in specifics about Colorado, different quarterback, a lot of different faces, but the new quarterback had played at Liberty before. When you're getting ready for this game, are you going to watch some Liberty, or are you going to be watching what Colorado did to get prepared for the opener in Boulder?
Probably the worst person to ask that, because I watch a lot of film. I've watched their last 2 years season, every offense, defense, special teams, every game the last 2 years. I think I've watched them twice now. If they're transfer players, I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through watching the film of where they've come from, regardless of who may or may not be a starter, or if they have an opportunity to be, and you piece it together. But when you go into a first game, you're only as good as your base offense, defense, and kicking game. All right, you have to rely back. It's about a game of adjustments by coaches, but you're as good as your base fundamentals.
Coach, up the center aisle to your left, about the 5th row, maybe 6th.
Hey, Coach, QCB, Fox Sports Radio Charlotte. I was going to piggyback off what my guy said about your opening games. We know about happened last year. Florida State, you guys put the ACC on notice by upsetting them, and you got Boulder this upcoming away opener for you guys. Deion Sanders, and we know what kind of spotlight he brings when he's been in Boulder the last 2 years, and the Deion effect. How are you going to prepare you guys mentally to deal with being on that type of microscope on a national level?
Yeah, we've played a lot of games on the national level in the last 2 years, and on the national stage, and that's what we want to do. We want to play games that are on the national stage. We want to play games that are, that the public has a chance to see our brand of football and who we are as a team, and that's what we're going to continue to look to do, or play those games. So we're excited to go play Colorado. It's an opportunity to settle the 1990 national championship. So, and look, Deion was one of my heroes growing up as a kid. I mean, I played baseball and football. I mean, it was Deion and Bo Jackson. So, pretty cool thing.
Coach, we'll squeeze in your last question to the right, 1st row.
Coach, Garrett Chapman, 24/7 Sports. Buster Faulkner, the news came out that he was extended this morning. What has he meant to this program, and what does it mean that he's going to be around the flat for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I mean, first off, Buster is not only an extremely respected football coach, but he's a very dear friend. Him and his family, very close. I entrust him with the offense. I entrust him with putting the plan together, and we converse a lot and talk a lot. He's one of the closest confidants I have on the entire staff, with a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I trust Buster Faulkner. And look, what transpired with that, I mean, that just is another sign that shows the commitment that starts with Dr. Cabrera, with his commitment to Georgia Tech athletics and his commitment to Georgia Tech football, and giving us the resources to compete with anybody out there, anybody in the country. And I can't thank him enough for allowing those things to continue to happen. But at the same time, I mean, it's no different than I talk to the players about all the time. I mean, there's one thing to walk in somebody's office and ask them for an increase in NIL or go out and earn it. And we're very transparent when it comes to these things. I want people to earn what they get, right? Earn what they go out and receive, not just be able to have it given to them. And we talk about that, and to have a coach mimic that same thing, and there's not anybody up here that's going to disagree. Like, I mean, he's the best play caller in the country. I mean, talk about getting the ball in the hands of different guys, and we got a lot of really good skill players on offense this year. And, everybody's talking about running the football, by the way. We're throwing the ball 70 to 75 times a game this year, right? At minimum. But I'm excited for them, excited for the opportunity, but more excited for these players to be able to have continuity on the staff, because continuity on your team, retention of your team, your roster, continuity on your coaching staff, that just shows stability of a program.
Coach, thank you. You and Kyle can switch places, and we'll spend just a few minutes